Rankins, Corey, and Herbig will not practice today, and then Dwayne's on his normal week.
What's up with Herbig?
He's dealing with something with his leg.
Is
Not
he concerned
over.
for Sunday?
No, I'm not really concerned.
Does Corey have a chance to play this week?
He has a chance. He's not going to practice today, but we're going to see how far we can progress him over the course of the week.
With Rankins out and how well he's been playing, what have you thought of his play, and also how are you planning to replace him?
Rankins has been fantastic. He's having a really nice season. Hopefully this injury is not too long, but we'll it's a next man up mentality. We'll see how the week goes with how we utilize it. We've been playing +1 or +2 on the D line, activating 10 anyway. So we'll figure it out as the week goes.
Are you confident that he's not going to have to go on IR?
Yeah, rank.
Yeah.
Pretty confident.
Robert, are you a better team than you were 3 weeks ago when you faced these guys?
I feel like we've gotten better every week. It still comes down to being able to execute and do our job and do right longer and all the different things that we talk about. But you'd like to think that as with every passing day, you get a little bit better.
You guys talk about learning from adversity or growing from adversity. What do you think you learned from that game?
I just mentioned it, do right longer. This game isn't about, doesn't always come down to talent and all that stuff. It comes down to whether or not we can execute at the highest level for 60 minutes. And, it's taking care of the football. It's being opportunistic on defense. It's executing your job to the best of your ability at 100%. And you trust that at the end of the day, if you do that for 60 minutes, you trust that the results will be where you want them to be.
As far as Zach, I know you just said he had been held hostage for the bad plays that he made. How do you balance that, the bad plays that he made, but also just kind of look at the good plays that he's made too as well?
Well, you focus on all of it. There's a saying that you treat negative and positive the same. So you treat both imposters. They're both imposters, and you treat them both the same because there's teachable moments in everything that happens, whether it's good or bad. And so even through the positive plays, there's a lot of things that can be taught to make it better. And through the negative plays, there's things that can be taught so we don't have those negative plays repeat itself. So the balance is there is no balance. You just attack all of it exactly the same. And but from a narrative standpoint, to try to attack a young man for 4 or 5 plays, 4 or 5 teachable moments in my mind, I just think we're missing the big picture on it. That's all.
So how does having a game like against the Bills can help him, especially coming in the game against New England, considering what happened the first time around?
For sure, it's confidence. These young men, confidence is a great momentum builder, right? And and you go against a team like Buffalo, and you play the way he did, which was a really good game. He's had a lot of good moments throughout the season. Played really well against Miami, played really well against Pittsburgh, played really well against Buffalo, and so we feel good about his trajectory and where he's going.
Last week, Bill Belichick was talking about C.J. Mosley and was saying how he is able to diagnose a play before it happens and calls it out, and you notice that happening a lot in that game. How valuable is it having a guy like C.J.?
For sure. Those veterans, and sorry to cut you off, but the veterans are like a guy like C.J. who's been around enough, who's seen it all, and that's the advantage of a veteran, right? They've seen it. They've got scars. They understand the game. They can see the game. And knock on wood, with CJ being a veteran, he still plays like he's 24 years old. He's still fast. He still hits violently, and he still plays with a lot of enthusiasm and juice. So having guys like him are priceless.
Does he do that a lot? Call up play?
Yeah. No, he's very vocal. You guys remember last year? I mean, he checked out of a defense, but so he's always communicating. He does a really nice job. He does a great job anticipating. He is a tremendous asset, especially in the front. Because he's talking, and you figure he's in the middle of the defense. Everyone can hear him except for maybe the corners. But so he's been fantastic.
Is that any kind of a problem that he was called out publicly on that?
No.
The Bill said,
This
is what they're doing?
just means that I'm sure Coach Belichick did a really hard self-scout this week, and they'll have something new for us. So.
Why do you think as a defensive guy too, why do you think Belichick's defenses give young they give a lot of people problems, but it seems like they give young quarterbacks problems the most?
They're multiple, so they change the picture a lot, and like I said, they're very so we talk about veterans, so they're filled with a bunch of veterans, a lot of smart players, a lot of good football players that can look at a formation and diagnose a play before it's about to happen. And when you've been there for 20 years or whatever many years, and you can teach all the snakes, because the whole coaching staff knows every snake in the grass, like I've said before, and you can teach it to veterans, and the veterans who already know the game of football as well as they do, they can jump and they can do things and that normal teams won't do, and so it's a kind of a learning experience for a young guy.
With Elijah Moore, when you drafted him, and pretty much for a year, you were very confident that he'd be a really good outside receiver. And so obviously he's been playing in the slot the last couple of weeks. What changed and why that changed?
I still think Elijah will be good wherever he goes. It's a few things. There's the emergence of Garrett on the outside also. Elijah, trying to get him some run on the inside where he can utilize his shiftiness and his separation, his route running ability, and so it's a bunch of different things. And not that he's going to be exclusive to just the slot. It's just going to be more opportunities in the slot. So he hasn't, to be official with it, and I know it's been a big deal over the bye week. He's not making an official move to the slot because it's just a lot more opportunities in the slot. So he's just trying to utilize them and put them in the best positions to be successful.
Was this part of, like, when you had that conversation with him after you requested the trade, was this one of the things you tossed out to him, so maybe, hey, we could try to get you more opportunities in the slot?
He's where Elijah's really good is he's always got constant dialogue, and he's always trying to find ways and to help himself get better, and which is why we love him. So yeah, all those conversations happened. It wasn't kind of hey, we'll do this for you. It's just more, let's try to find ways to help him get in a groove on game day. Because like I said, all he wants to do is help the football team. That's what this whole thing has been about. It's not been about playing time. It's not been about, he wants to help. And whether he feels like helping us through production or helping us through getting opportunities to be put in different positions where he's the number one in progression, it's just he just wants to help. And so in our mind, this is a way that we can get him to help us a little bit more, is by creating a little bit more versatility to his game.
Is that a tough sell to players, Robert, when it's not production, you can help in other ways?
It is tough because, the game is, especially nowadays with all the money running around and flowing, and you've got a small window to try to attack it and make generational wealth, right? And then, especially from where a lot of these young men come from, it's many different stories, but there's a individual goal and then there's the team goal, and it is tough, but I go back to when you serve with no intent to receive, it usually comes back twofold, and so just focus on the things you've got control over and dominate your moment and trust that good things will happen.
I know you talk about every week as a championship week, but this team has obviously lost a lot of games to the Patriots. How important do you think this game is for this franchise, the program that you're trying to build here? How important is this?
I said it. I forget when I said it that we're too young. We haven't been here long enough to experience the scars and all that stuff. Divisional games are always important because there's ramifications way down the line from a scenario standpoint. But it really is just another championship opportunity. I get it's the Patriots, and I get it's big for the fans and some of the people upstairs in the business department, our ownership and all that stuff. But for us as coaches, players, the main thing, you got to keep the main thing, and that this is another championship opportunity versus another championship football team, and we've got to play at a championship level.
Where do you sense your team is at from a mental point of view?
I feel good about it. I think we all feel good about where they are. There's a lot of confidence in the locker room, but it's a quiet confidence in that it's, the three most dangerous words in football are "I got it," and don't feel like our locker room has that mindset. It's more, hey, we're very confident. Let's attack the day. Let's make sure we find a way to get better. And I think it's in a really good place mentally.
What would you assess where James Robinson is right now as opposed to the first time around when they played the Patriots?
He's further along. I thought he had a really good day against Buffalo. I feel like he probably got his life settled over the bye week. If you got to assume that it's just a whirlwind to get traded, and over the bye week was able to get stuff moved over here. So mentally, I'm sure he's probably at more of a calm, and then physically, he's getting better.
Have you told your team this week to tone it down a little bit as opposed to the New England game 2 weeks ago when they were talking a lot?
Did you feel like they were talking a lot? I didn't get a feel on that, but no, I want our locker room to be our locker room. If if they want to, obviously, the rule one is protect the team, but I'm not going to ask our guys to put on a front.
Just a quick offensive line question. What's the thought on bringing LDT in for a workout? Is he gonna sign, and are you gonna roll with Cedric at right tackle?
We're working them out. You guys know Joe D. If he could have 53 linemen on the team, he would. No, but LDT was such a great asset to us last year. Did such a great job, and I know he wanted the opportunity to come out and work out, and so we'll see how that goes, and we'll make a decision from there.
All good. And the Cedric?
He's staying at right tackle and we'll see how Max progresses.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.